Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. Say go so, the remix.
DMB, Tux Bites, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us in your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shortage. What's worth of a lady? It's nice, but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. Within it took a long fine eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the bus station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so tough. I felt this sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl, smiling eyes and feeling tight. I found me a beautiful girl.
Body me LP, oh yeah,
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a Coke bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk, she must be from a planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger. We look good together. Take your place in my heart with your beauty. I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
So the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. If you touch as a breezy night, all I really want in my life. Oh yeah, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl, sparkling night, killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl, beautiful girl. Yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money. You seen her? Hot Ice. Have you seen her? LP. Have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look.
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time, I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace up with presents and gifts. Call me Santa Claus. I make her heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me Aston Kutcher, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'ma go get her. Since I'm a go getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl, sparkling night, killing
been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Man of prestige. Ha! Now this guy win. Now you win. Now you win today. Now you win. Now you win. I agree. Man of prestige. Now man you be.
I'm sure some people will be jealous now the way I talk about Ola. But I have learned a lot from him. That's why I keep telling you to follow him. If you don't follow Man of Prestige, now you know.
What is going on? All right, I look funny, right? All right, let's see if we can switch that really quickly. I am scrambling today. All right, yay! All right, how's everybody doing? Welcome back. Welcome back. I hope you're doing well. All right, yay! Welcome back to Man of Prestige. I hope you guys are doing well. Most struggle, any. I'm trying to catch up, all that kind of stuff. Do me a favor, hit that like button as you're coming in. Hit that like button, thank you. All right, we're looking good. All right, awesome. Welcome back. Welcome back. Shout out to D-Love. I see you. Welcome back. All right. Hit that like button as you're coming in. Shout out to my sponsors. Tima, Show Mama, Gores Corner, D-Love. All of you. I appreciate all of you. Bata. I'm trying to get the update on the numbers really quickly before we continue here. We do have a fantastic show lined up today. All right. By the way, you can download the books absolutely for free at manofprestige.com. You can see the link on the screen. All right. We are in February. Our goal this month, right now, we're at $69.90. So that number is not updated. But you can support the show for as low as 99 cents. Okay. Our goal this month is $318 and something cents. Okay, I appreciate all your support, sharing, liking, all of that is helping. Okay, I appreciate all of that. All right, what we come here to do is talk about life and relationships. We like to extract real life and relationship lessons from trendy topics. All right, so we do have some lined up for today. All right, like I said, you can download the books. You can get the merch at merch.manofprestige.com. You can send us email at ask@manofprestige.com, and you can join behind the scenes, okay, conversations behind the scene on whatsapp.manofprestige.com. All right, welcome back. So let me see what else here that we haven't covered. Yeah, I think we pretty much covered the house rules. All right, good. Now here's the thing. We do have a fantastic show today. So as you can see, I'm like multitasking, but I promise I am ready. I am ready. All right. Today we have, we're going to cover stories about Usher. We're going to revisit Usher. I think we might, I'm going to add, this guy in the middle of it, But I'll see if I want to cover that or not. I'm not sure. Honestly, no. We're not going to worry about that. We have Usher. We have a story that's trendy right now as we speak. As we speak right now, it's trendy about the lady FANI Willis, the DA FANI Willis. We're also going to talk about TIMINI EGBUSON, Nollywood actor Timini EGBUSON, who is also brother to Dakore, right? So we're going to talk about him as well. We're going to talk about Monique. All right. So we have a ton of story to cover today. Do me a favor. Hit the like button. Let's ping everybody else into the room. I'll be back in 20 seconds.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, we're gonna listen to this a little bit. We're gonna listen to a couple of minutes of this, but this is the actual live feed from the case of district attorney, whatchamacallit, FANI Willis that's going on right now. You know, Konji is a bastard. Sometimes Konji will catch you in the wrong moment. Even if you're not necessarily doing anything wrong, it can cost you a lot of money. That's her. They're going back to her right now. It can cost you a lot of money, and it can cost you reputation. And all you needed to do is just satisfy small Konji. But you know, it can cost you a lot. So we know from history that it can cost men a lot, but it can cost anybody a lot, to be honest with you, if you participate in Konji type of behavior within the wrong context. All right, so let me unmute this, and then let's hear what they're saying. Let's see what she's saying.
Lunches with a couple of people that over the course of a year I paid.
Let me prohibited source means
we already went over this, Mr. Gillen. Mr. McDougall.
Well, Your Honor, I have to lay the foundation here before I can follow up with my next question.
I don't know why you can't. You have to.
Well,
it's already, the questions have been made.
Then
your
2022 disclosure form did not list any of the thousands and thousands of dollars that Mr. Wade paid for on trips that you were on. Isn't that correct?
Objection, my lord.
Mr. Wade was paid that money back, or he was paid I bought the plane ticket, or I paid for the hotel. There were never money that he gave me. That wasn't the nature of our relationship. You know, there's so many men, and Mr. Wade is one of them, where the nature of the relationship is they're just paying a woman. The nature of our relationship is companionship and friendship. Despite the way people would like to paint certain women, it's just not true.
Final question.
All right. Let's see.
Solitary documentary piece of evidence showing that you have withdrawn the cash to pay him back.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gillen.
That's not accurate.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm just gonna let that play in the background, then I'll give you some updates of what's going on. I'm gonna read some articles here so you can get a feel of what's going on. So I got you, D-Love. I got you. All right. Hit that like button, share, subscribe. If you're just coming in, we're just getting started. Hit that like button. Let's bring everybody else into the room. So I'm going to read this from USA Today. It says, "You don't have to yell at me to make me understand the clashes between Fulton County District Attorney FANI Willis and defense lawyers repeated throughout hours of testimonies." Okay, so I'm not going to read everything there's in here. There's some live updates going on this page, but I'm going back right now to show you what happened. Okay. A television drama. Georgia District Attorney FANI Willis agrees to testify in election interference hearing. Okay, so she's involved in one of Trump's cases in Georgia, and you're going to get some details about that in a second. And there's some kind of this is about conflict of interest with respect to Konji and Wiku satisfaction. That's all. You know, it's not really a big deal, but they're making a big deal out of it. But let's see. Like a scene in a television drama, Fulton County District Attorney FANI Willis dropped her refusal to testify in a hearing about her relationship with prosecutor Nathan Wade and dramatically entered the courtroom to testify as members of the audience gasped. Oh, she just changed her mind in the middle of... "I'm ready to go," Willis said. Defense lawyers Ashley Marchant and Craig Gillen had been arguing that her testimony was crucial to corroborate Wade's affidavit and testimony that Willis reimbursed thousands of dollars in travel costs with him in cash. Okay, so if it's done in cash, it makes it a little bit harder to trace, right? In addition, another witness said the relationship began in 2019 rather than in 2022 as Wade testified. All right. Trump Willis hearing is a game changer. After his New York hush money hearing ended, Trump began weighing in on the Willis hearing by posting clips of television coverage and adding sardonic comments. It's a game changer, Trump said in one Truth Social post. In another post, Trump said it is game over for the Georgia election case, but that is far from clear at this point. All right, let me go to the backstory. Let's see if we can get some things. All right. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure that we're timing ourselves here, Jesus, before we go bonkers. Okay, there you go. Aha. All right. Give me 1 second. All right. So normally I would have prepared a lot of this, but you know. All right. So FANI Willis, the district attorney of Fulton County, Georgia, is investigating whether Donald Trump. This is the background. Okay, this is what she was supposed to be doing. Investigating whether Donald Trump and his allies interfered with the 2020 presidential election in Georgia. In February 2021, a special grand jury was impaneled to investigate the case. The grand jury has issued subpoenas to a number of Trump associates, including Rudy Giuliani, you know that name, right? And Sidney Powell. Trump has denied any wrongdoing and has called the investigation a witch hunt. The case is going, and it is not yet clear what charges, if any, will be brought against Trump at the time that all of this is happening. Okay? All right. Now, there's more to this, right? Obviously, right? So now the issue is there is a scandal that is being, you know how there's a case going against Trump, and suddenly they start to dig up stuff and say, hey, wait, there's a guy that this woman is sleeping with. All right. And that's what we're talking about today. Okay. Now, I think she's claiming that it's just companionship. I mean, the other issue is that I think she was married in the middle of all of this. Wala. I think she was married, you know. So I want to pull up some stuff. I'm trying to pull up some stuff for you guys so you guys can get the full gist of what's going on before today, before what you're watching right now. Okay. All right. So this is up to about this is a news from 3 weeks ago. It says no one is praising Fulton County District Attorney FANI Willis' apparent romantic relationship with Nathan Wade, an attorney in private practice, who she brought on board. She brought this guy on board as a special prosecutor in the criminal investigation and now prosecution of Donald Trump. Is now prosecution of Donald Trump and 18 co-defendants. We have not yet heard that much of Willis' side of the story. However, based on what is known so far, it represents poor judgment, okay, by bringing somebody that might, there's a chance that you're doing something together, especially in a case of this magnitude, even if a prosecutor's private life is generally none of the public's business. You know how people say it's none of your business, and then you find out that it's everybody's business. Willis has already said publicly that she is flawed and imperfect in her public remarks at Bethel AME Church following the allegations. But whether there were personal failings is not the operative legal test for whether Willis or Wade should be disqualified from the case. And accordingly, that question is not the focus of this essay. Prosecutors are human, and they can and do make mistakes. What is the mistake? So you notice that they're kind of like dodging the congee part of it, right? They're saying it's a personal relationship, but what the main issue from a legal standpoint here is sounding like it's more of conflict of interest, right? But why? If it wasn't because of that, would you call it conflict of interest? The question here is whether Willis and Wade's apparent mistakes have any bearing, if their personal relationship have any bearing on the election conspiracy prosecution in a way the law would require their removal from the case. The motion filed by, by the way, I'm reading from justsecurity.org. The motion filed by defendant Michael Roman seeks primarily to do just that, to disqualify. That's all they're looking to do, to disqualify Willis and Wade from further participation in the case. Under Georgia law, however, even if all the factual allegations regarding Willis and Wade were true, so nobody is saying it's true or false yet. They're just saying it's question. There's questions to it. They do have some kind of personal relationship. If it's sexual, they're leaving that side out. But she's clearly just said that is companionship and something, you know. All right, companionship. I think she's married too. Anyway, let's keep going. Any of the okay. There would be no basis for disqualifying them from prosecuting Roman or any of the other defendants in the election conspiracy case. The key point is that regardless of whether the factual circumstances involving Willis and Wade give rise to separate ethical concerns with respect to his hiring, such questions do not affect the propriety of the prosecution against Roman and his co-defendants. Questions about gifts and related matters go to Willis and Wade's obligations to the Fulton County District Attorney's Office and have no connection to assuring the defendants a fair trial. These allegations are as irrelevant to the trial as allegations in other situations that prosecutors took office supplies for personal use. Oh, they're saying there's no magnitude to it. Okay. What are the allegations? Georgia law recognizes prosecutorial disqualification in exceptionally narrow circumstances, ones that are not alleged by the Roman motion. The Roman motion argues that three primary alleged factual circumstances amount to a conflict of interest, warranting disqualification, even more extremely dismissal of the indictment against him. Okay, so all of this is basically a call to release them, to release Trump, Donald Trump, from the case. Georgia courts have resoundingly rejected romantic relationships between attorneys as a basis for prosecutorial disqualification. So the Georgia law does not support this. That's what they're saying here. And there's also allegations of financial compensation between the two of them. Okay. All right. The personal travel by Willis and Wade. The allegations regarding personal travel together that Wade allegedly paid for also do not give rise to a conflict of interest, warranting disqualification, although no case in Georgia addresses allegations of a similar factual circumstance. The principles that the Georgia courts have adopted strongly indicate the absence of a conflict of interest warranting disqualification. So that's what this case is about. They're trying to disqualify the two of them from the case. Okay. Now let me see if I can get a little bit more clear-cut statement of what actually happened. Okay. All right, let's look at this. On January 8th, an attorney for defendant Michael Roman filed a motion seeking to disqualify the DA's office from the case because of an alleged romantic relationship between Willis and Wade. They're still showing them, right? Yeah, they're still. The court filing stated that because Wade paid for trips they took together, Willis benefited financially from the arrangement. Willis, an elected Democrat, hired Wade in November 2021 to help with our investigation into efforts to overturn the 2020 election in Georgia. Since a Fulton County grand jury in August returned an indictment against Trump and 18 others, Wade has led the team of lawyers Willis assembled to prosecute the case. It was revealed that Wade has been paid more than $650,000 for his work on the election interference case. During a speech during Martin Luther King Jr. holiday weekend at a historic black church in Atlanta, Willis defended hiring Wade and suggested racism was behind the attacks on her judgment and Wade's disqualification. I'm reading from fox5atlanta.com. On January 25, Trump joined Roman's motion to remove Willis and Wade from the case by filing his own motion, which focused on Willis' speech at the church on January 14. Co-defendant David Schaffer has also filed a motion accusing Willis of engaging a pattern of prosecutorial forensic misconduct, which he says should disqualify not only her, but her entire office and prosecution staff. Although Willis and Wade initially kept silent about the status of their relationship, Willis confirmed a romantic relationship with Wade in a 176-page court-ordered response on February 2. The response was required before a hearing on February 15, which is what's happening in real time right now, in Fulton County Superior Court on Roman's motion. Willis denies that she has benefited financially from hiring Wade. Okay, because if they're sleeping together, then all that money she's paying to Wade, right, is money they spend together. They're probably spending money together on trips and stuff like that. All right, so here's the headline. It says multiple investigations underway. The controversy surrounding Willis and Wade triggered investigation and accusations from various sources, including Fulton County Commissioner Bob Ellis, the U.S. House Committee on the Judiciary, Georgia Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene, and the Georgia Senate. Fulton County Commissioner sent a letter to Willis on January 18 demanding documents to determine whether county funds paid to Wade were converted to your personal gain in the form of subsidized travel and gift. The U.S. House Committee on the Judiciary announced an investigation into Fulton. Oh, they went out, right? All right, the live event has ended. All right, hold on, let me just we're gonna finish the story. 1 second. All right. Brother Patrick, sir, welcome, sir. Good to see you. Trump will definitely be prosecuted for election interference. It doesn't matter if Willis and Wade are disqualified. It is even an irrelevant allegation to what Trump is being tried for. I mean, the laws are saying that from a little bit of what I read earlier on. It looks like you know what the laws says is, I bet it gay. But, it's still interesting to see some of these allegations. Hold on 1 second. All right. So now the question is, if is she married? All right. As far as Willis married, I think some people said she's married. Well, people can be married and engage other people romantically speaking. It's possible. So because people sometimes separate, and it is what it is, right? Let me see here. On the day she took the Georgia bar exam, Willis met Fred Willis, who was working an extra job at videographer. They married in 1996 and have 2 daughters. They divorced in 2005. Willis said she has been in a relationship with Nathan Wade since 2022. Okay, so there you have it. So again, I'm not really seeing the, I'm not seeing the relevance to Trump's case. But, the reason why I brought this up today is, romantic relationships at work. That's the real reason why I brought this up. Obviously because it's also live right now. People are talking about it right now. But romantic relationships at work. Is it advisable? Is it right or wrong? I think it's neither right nor wrong. Can it become a mess? Absolutely. And that's one of the examples you're looking at right now. Has it become a mess? What do you think? What's your take? What do you think it has become at this point in time? The truth is that I always say this: people will participate in bad, good behavior as long as it feels right. Feelings being the key word. Okay? Feelings being the key word. People will participate in good, bad behavior if it feels right. It doesn't matter. Especially if we're talking about a matter of kwekus and konji and romantic relationships, anything that involves, that's emotionally driven. People will do what they have to do because it starts to feel like it's a matter of survival at some point. They will do what they have to do, and you can judge them all you want. Okay. Now, what can we learn from that? We should be self-aware, know that we're just like everybody else. Okay. We can be self-aware when it comes to that. So when you're self-aware, that's half of the battle won. So even if your emotions is driving you, you can at least pivot, or at least be wise, apply some wisdom. If you happen to fall for somebody at work, right, in a professional setting, you can at least be wise about it and make sure that the books are clean. Because if the enemy finds a small crack in the wall, you know, enemies like Donald Trump, like the Roman guy or whoever that is, right? If they find that crack, they will drag you woto. And that dragging will cost you a lot more than money. That's really the point here, okay? Even when they get into this court right now, they're going to drag, their reputation is going to be tampered with, okay? Reputation, because, I mean, these are legal professionals, right? Their reputation is going to be tampered with. And it doesn't matter if you're wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter if you're right. It doesn't matter. That reputation, the court will not touch your reputation, but the public opinion will affect you. Now you're getting popular potentially for the wrong reasons, you know. So that's my take on that, but I would like to know what your take is. Mario says it is very relevant. Her and Mr. Wade's lack of discipline would have jeopardized the case. See, it's not about putting Trump away. That's a good point, by the way, Marriott. Thank you so much for that. It's not about putting Trump away, all right? It's about making sure you put Trump away. How's that, right? You want to make sure you put him, I don't know what away means, away from the ballots, right? Let's just say that, right? If that's your goal, is to make sure you put him away, you want to make sure that you don't want your bullers messing with all of that. So even though I'm not going to stop people from falling in love with who they fall in love with, you know, there are options. There are options. There are also options of judgment, you know, because already they are admitting to, you know, a terrible judgment on their part, right? $650,000. It's not no beans. Okay, it sounds better in pidgin. $650,000 no beans. Exchanging hands between two romantic lovers that are engaged in trying to put somebody away. You want to make sure you put them away. Then you want to make sure you separate that. Okay, because all of that will be questioned, and it will be questioned in the future of cases. Your judgment also will be questioned in future cases. I keep telling you, this is how life works. It's not, you know, there's the right and wrong thing plays a very small role, because that's why there's courts, you know, to address all the nuances and all the lack of character judgment, to address all the in-betweens, like what ifs. That's what they go there to do, right? So it is what it is, you know. That's an example. So if I think their behavior has jeopardized the authenticity of the case, unfortunately, you know, to you that may be sadly, to you that may be like good, great. I want to know where you are on that, you know. He hired a lover who was not qualified. Come on, Bekus DA. All right, so I'm see, as I kind of have an idea about the case, but I'm still going to learn more, and we will continue to cover it as we see some relevant stuff come out of it. But this is an example of, you know, this is why they say, you know, if you're going to engage somebody romantically at work, we're not saying it's wrong, we're just saying you might want to be careful with that, you know, because you might think you're not doing anything wrong, but it's not really about you doing anything wrong. It's a little bit deeper than that. Emotions are your mate, but use your sense, especially at work, and don't expose yourself to the enemy. That's what I'm saying. You get this, Brother Patrick. I'm just going to leave that right there. I want to know your opinions if you're watching this as a replay later on. And then I'll be back in 20 seconds.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Speaking of emotions, let's talk about Usher. Let's talk about Usher really quickly. Usher Raymond, the beloved of Nigerians, Americans, you know, arguably probably the king of R&B at this point. He was on. We covered him a few days ago because he has a tendency to touch people's wife on stage. It's performing. It's professional. We get it, But you get the gist exactly. So we're talking about Usher today. Usher got married also, and also posted some very interesting pictures, from his wedding. Let me see if I can find it really quickly so I can give you guys some, you know what I mean? Let me see. What happened to my screen? Where did you go? Oh my gosh. All right. Aha. This is Usher. If you don't know who Usher is, that's Usher. True player for real. Don't leave your girl around me. True player for real. Hey. This guy. For real, you might want to watch your girls around Usher, especially if you're not sure of yourself. Make sure you know what you're doing before you tackle Usher, because at the end of the day, you have to blame your girl. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. I wanted to show you guys some pictures from his wedding. He posted some stuff, and then we'll talk about his relationship that just got dug up, about relationship. Wait, okay, is here. All right, this is Usher. Some pictures from his wedding over this past weekend. Yay! See a bunch of Kunle Remy, Nia Long. I think Nia Long. Let's see, Nia Long. Okay. Usher got married. Wait, where is it? Where's the rest of it? Let me see here. Is this it right here? Maybe. I can't find it. Okay, I can't find. That's just Usher anyway. Usher performing. There was a picture somewhere. Let me see if it's on here. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But the reason why we're covering this, so he got married at the same time he was getting dragged by the manosphere for touching Swiss Beats' wife, Alicia Keys. There's a report here on Bola Alert. Says Usher recently opened up during an exclusive interview with People about his unsuccessful relationship with Chilli. Chilli is from the TLC group from the 90s. I think they might have one more song after the 2000s. I'm not sure. At 18, he released his first hit album, My Way, in which he says his seductive persona wasn't just a marketing ploy. I was always charming the older ladies, he said. Some people just attract, the older women. It is what it is. Speaking of Chilli, despite a 7-year age difference, so Chilli is like 7 years older than Usher. Usher is how old these days? Usher should be about 45 or so, maybe something like that. 44, yep, 45 years old. Damn, Usher is old though. Jesus Christ, Usher's gone way back. 45 years old. Yep. Anyway, let's keep going here. Let's get back to the report. Speaking of Chilli, despite a 7-year age difference, the R&B singer openly acknowledged I was her #1 fan and she was my superstar. That song. This acknowledgement refers to the lyrics of Superstar from his 2004 album Confessions. Wow, Confessions is 2004? If you know that album when it was dropped, I'm not saying you're getting old, but I'm not saying anything more than that. Which detailed the aftermath of their highly publicized relationship. Right, 2004, wow. Unfortunately, the two split in late 2004. I was a young man, and I quote, I was a young man, and she had very specific rules that didn't work for me, he says. We were missing each other. I really did want to have a different type of relationship where she was there with me and she couldn't be. She didn't believe that I was actually in love with her as much as I was. There's no way she could believe. You were young. I was Usher in 2004. It was probably what? 25 years old. And she was like 32, 33. And you don't leave your girl around me, true player for real. That's my nick for real. Oh, good. There's no way. All these girls around, she probably had a hard time believing that you were in love. But I believe Usher was in love. He was young. Generally, young men who are getting with older women, they are in love. Now, in love literally means it won't last. You're going to have to build something else, a much stronger foundation beyond in love at some point. So maybe she's just matured enough to know that, yeah, we're not going to do that. But anyway, let me keep reading. I'm reading here. No, before I read, let me see what D-Love is saying to me. Wait, what did you say to me, D-Love? Where is it? Okay, there you go. MOP, I'm typing this in Yoruba because I know a lot of people will disagree. But boy, you're fine. Otini herpes. Jesus Christ, why you bring that up? It's Usher nonetheless. Oh my God. Anyway, it's Usher. No, we're not going to talk about that. Jesus Christ. Let the poor, I didn't say the happy, so let the poor.
Let be poor. Breathe.
I beg, leave Usher alone. Anyway, he continued. I wanted to marry her. I proposed and she told me no. I went through a great deal of pain after that, not trusting women or wanting to open up. He admits I hurt her too. Wait, which part did you hurt her? But the situation broke my heart. However, according to Chilli, it looked great, but in real life, he knew he had to be a certain way with me, and he couldn't. What way? My way. My way. Right, that song. Chilli said the relationship remained off and on for years despite their split, rekindling when they were not involved with other partners. Yeah, well, you were not involved with other partners. Very good. But for Usher, he said things ended when they broke up. We were cool with each other, but I was very careful with that. So with that, all that right there, right? He says, I really did love that girl, and I was like, I don't want to play with you. Like, I can't give you what I gave you. I can't give you what I gave you. I did everything that I thought you would have wanted me to do, but I guess my good wasn't great enough. That's a song right there. You know Usher is a songwriter too, right? That's a song right there. Both parties are in new happy relationship. Yeah. Usher is not married. Earlier this week, it was announced that Usher and his longtime girlfriend Jennifer go. I don't know how to pronounce that. Pardon me, Miss Jennifer. They tied the knot after the 2024 Super Bowl. Chilli has also been dating actor Matthew Lawrence. Wait till I did not see that coming. I know that name. Who is Matthew Lawrence? I know that name. Wala. This young man here. How old is Matthew Lawrence? This is Matthew Lawrence, if you're wondering. This is Matthew Lawrence. This is Matthew Lawrence right here. Oyibo man. Matthew Lawrence is an Oyibo man. So she's with an Oyibo man now. Okay. There's a report here on People. February 11, 2024. The TLC singer and the actor have been dating since 2022. Another long dating. They're probably never going to get married. She's 52. And this Boy Meets the World actor is only 44 years old. Is it the Boy Meets the World dude? I don't know these guys. They look odd. I think it's him. Yes. Jesus Christ. 52 to 44. She liked them young. Okay. Legal but young. She likes them legal but young. Anyway. Today, we're talking about Usher and Raymond. Although Usher, Raymond, and Chilli. Okay. It's good that they have moved on. Okay. To me, I I don't know. Let me just keep quiet. Let's leave people's relationship alone. These days, I'm not hurt over that at all. He says of him and Chilli not working out. We've since become cool with each other, celebrate each other, and it's always light when we see each other. So I have a question to end this part of the conversation today. First of all, let me come to the chat. All right. I have a questionnaire. I have a question for you guys before we end this. Didn't realize Grace was gone. He keeps marrying and birthing children. Who is Grace? I haven't been paying attention. Who is Grace? The only person I know is the older woman. He likes them older. The older manager slash fashion dresser, the person that used to dress him up. Let me see if I can find that information here. Tanisha or something like that. Grace Harry. I never knew about that one. Okay, but yeah, Tamika Foster. He was married. Wow, that's 2007 to 2009. Grace Harry. Who is Grace Harry? I think I have an idea what you're talking about. Well, they were married for 3 years, 2015. This boy loves love. He loves, you know how women say, I love love. He loves love. He's not gonna give up on love, obviously. Like, it doesn't make sense for Usher R&B to give up on love. It doesn't really make sense anyway. We just hope that he knows what he's doing, and that he's actually learning that there's actually skills involved in this. Yeah, this is Usher and the ex-wife Tamika from back when, right? And let me see if we can find that picture for, you said Grace Harry. Oh, you know what? I remember this person. I think I do. I remember this person. Yeah, I didn't realize they were married. No, but this is the, okay, so this present wife is Oyibo person now, right? I mean, this is Oyibo now, Oyibo. Okay, so that's, who is this person? Is that Tamika? But I think that's the present wife right now. I'm getting through it. The question I have a question. I know you're waiting for the question. I got you. Let me see here. Oh yeah, I know this lady. Definitely, I know her. Oh yeah, I remember her. Okay, so Usher has been moving through them. Was she older too? I wonder if she was older too. This is Grace right here. Anyway, the question I have is this. If before I ask my question, let me see. Usher is definitely a lover man. A lover boy. Sounds better when you say lover boy. Toby says, is the boyish charm with the nice smile makes the older lady wants to look after him. And if he's getting attention from them, he will attract them both ways, right? I saw her in concert last year and she was tiny and bouncing all over the place. Who's her? Grace? She sings too? Googled and she was over 50. Not many our age will be able to hang. You talking about Grace? All these women that has gotten to menopause are using the younger men to cruise. Wala, Uncle Patrick. Wala. Anyway, let me say this. All right, I have a question. Would you advise, not you now, even gentlemen, would you advise your brother to get with older women? Because he's been doing this for a while. With Chilli, that was 7 years older. About 25 to like 32 years old. And if I'm getting this right, they're saying Grace is also, oh okay, Chilli is older. Yeah, Chilli is much older. Chilli is 52 or 53 now, right? Yeah, that will get to you. The age will get to you, absolutely, right? Would you advise, do you think, now if you would, because again, people will say you can't help what you fall in love with, right? People say that a lot. That's a very easy talking point to roll off people's tongue. Right? You can't control who you fall in love with. Anyway, now with that being said, right? Hold on one second. Sorry about that. With that being said, would you, even if they're going to fall in love with a person that's older, a man to a woman much older, right? What 3 things, my question for you, and we're going to leave it at that. What 3 things would you ask them to look out for? Okay. And then we might pick up the conversation from then if I get enough comments. Like, let me see in the comments in the chat. What 3 things would you say your younger brother, your younger sibling, your younger cousin, if they're going to get with somebody who is much older, 5 years and above, what 3 things would you ask them to look out for? With that being said, we're going to leave Usher alone for today. Okay. His heart is broken. Was broken. Okay. And he said he had to deal with that for a long time. So I understand. I can't relate, but I understand. I love older women, but I've never thought about dealing with them for a long-term relationship. No. All right. And but I can see how you might fall for someone and you just like, but this is the girl for me. This is the girl for me. I can see that. So I would like to know what you think about that, and I'll be back in 20 seconds for the rest of the stories.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, let's talk about TIMINI EGBUSON. You guys know what TIMINI EGBUSON is, right? 40 plus, single, never been married. Red flag. Red flag. Toby and Tribe says skills to make it work. You know, emotions no be your mates, you know. But yeah, absolutely, that would be one thing to, you know, because I think it's the same skills that's required for any type of relationship, but those skills are much harder in certain contexts than the others, right? But that's a good one. Let me see here. Let's talk about TIMINI EGBUSON. Let's see what this young man is up. If you don't know who he is, an Hollywood actor. Okay, young man. I don't know. How old is he? Is he up to 40? I don't think so. Maybe in his 30, right? But he's going to say something here that I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to agree with it. You know, TIMINI EGBUSON is also younger brother to the great Dakore EGBUSON, who also I've had the privilege of meeting a long time ago that I met her in Maryland. They were here for an award. A very pleasant person. I met her along with Carolina Danjuma. That's her name, right? Anybody know who that is? I think she's also on the Housewives of Lagos or something like that. This is TIMINI right here. Okay. So he made a statement. Let me see if you guys don't know who Dakore is. Let me see if I can find a picture of Dakore. Dakore. Now, what name is this? Is this like a Delta people's name? I think so, right? Sounds more like Delta, or maybe Akwa Ibom people, right? What y'all think? All right, good. That's Dakore right there. That's the older senior sister to TIMINI. So let's see what he's talking about. He made a statement. He made a couple of statements that I actually have seen today. And I'm wondering if I can find the second one, but let's look at this one right here. Let's take it from this one. Let's listen to this.
One of my biggest, maybe I could say biggest regrets is not settling down or like not picking a wife like
early enough. Yeah. No, to be
I wish I had
honest,
picked someone that, like, you know, one of my young loves that by now we have. Maybe I must have had like a 14-year-old kid running around. And the thing about finding true love is that you can't even be guarded 1%. Like, you have to be able to just lose your guard. I'll just say.
All right.
Honestly, one of my biggest.
I'll let that run again.
Maybe I could say biggest regrets is not settling down or like not picking a wife like
early enough.
Like,
No, to be
I wish
honest,
I had picked someone that, like, you know, one of my young loves that by now we have. Maybe I must have had like a 14-year-old kid running around. And the thing about finding true love is that you can't even be guarded 1%. Like, you have to be able to just lose your guard and just say, you understand? Honestly, one of my biggest.
He said you have to be able to
maybe
lose
I could say biggest
your
regrets is just
guard.
settling down or like not picking a wife. Like,
He said a lot in that. He said so much in that small statement. Now I haven't listened to the full thing, you know, but on Instablog Nigeria here, the caption says, my greatest regret in life is not settling down early. Actor TIMINI EGBUSON. You know, I'll let him share the stage here with his sister while he's searching for a wife. I am looking for a wifey. Anyway, Toby and Try says Bayelsa. So they're Bayelsa. Okay. Bayelsa, that's like Akwa Ibom area now. That's like half of Port Harcourt, half of that's used to be a state that used to be a part of River, right? I might be rough. My Nigerian geography is not proper. Mario said he needs to shut up, creep. What did he do now? Okay, I'm covering these people most of the time for the first time, so I don't know what they did in the past. I'm just going by what they said in this moment, so pardon me. Okay, well, if you did something crazy, terrible, creepy in the past, I'm not part of it, I promise. Okay, but let's just talk about this word today. Anyway, let me look in the comments area. Let's see what people are saying about this, right? I wanted to know, how old is he? How old is TIMINI, first of all? How old is TIMINI EGBUSON? He's 36 years old. So he's not even 40 plus yet. And he's feeling the heat. Can he at least wait until he's 40? Jesus. Anyway, I guess he's tired of being single. He's tired now. Anyway, this is where I say thank you, Jesus. I know I bought the Jesus Christ, that belle 13 years ago, when I think say my parents go kill me when they know. Last I keep am. Now I never marry, but I have a whole teenage child that keeps me going. Interesting. That's a person's testimony there. They're saying they almost deleted the baby 13 years ago, but that keeps them going. Shout out to that person. So somebody says, so what is he trying to say in essence? He's saying a lot too in that essence. So he's saying 40 plus people single, never been married, are basically red flags. He said a lot. I'll go back to his words in a second. And that's where relocating to a village to disguise as a poor man comes in. Anyway, on the same episode here, there's another video floating around where he said, if you are single and you are in Yankee, you are in UK, you are in Canada, you are in the Western world, that he matches better with those kind of people than the people in Nigeria, because it feels like you guys don't have options. Anyway, I'll leave that alone. Anyway, let's continue with this one topic. Somebody said, no truer words. When you start doing well, you can hardly tell who loves you for you. Okay, so that's when he said, because he was saying Nigerian girls, he can't, when you make it. Okay, he said that here too, when you make it, when you make it become older, obviously there's a higher chance you will make it, that you are doing better financially, and then it becomes harder for you to tell who truly loves you for you, right? So this person is repeating kind of that, like, no truer words. When you start doing well, you can hardly tell who loves you for you, relationships or platonic friendships wise. Okay, another person said, at a stage when you start progressing, it will be hard to know who truly loves you. All right, so it's hidden. See, I always tell you, anytime there's a viral clip that's going, that's because there's a level of truth to it, at least a small level of truth to it, even if we can add some context to it, but there's a level of it's hidden nerves. That's why it's going viral. The more money a guy has, the harder it is to find true love. They're saying it, they're repeating it. Somebody said, valid point. I always have this feeling that it's very cool and nice to settle down early. To me, it's the best and might even turn out to be your best decision. Okay, so I've had this conversation in the past year. There are men that are advising men to wait until they are 35 and above. Okay, this one is barely 35 and is already complaining. There are also women who advise They don't say age-wise. They say make sure you go through education and everything. Make sure you have your career before you think about it. We also get this advice. It's some of those advice that are very easy. They roll off your tongue easily, and they make common sense until you start to dig in a little bit deeper, and then you're like, okay, you're not wrong, but maybe we can add some context to that. Right? Maybe, right? Because it gets real the older you get, the more the realer life gets, right? It won't be as simple as talking points. Anyway, Spencer said, finding love early is beautiful before life experiences mess with your trust issues. That's another point somebody is making. Okay. Hold on, let me just make sure that all is well here. Hold on one second. All right, pardon my manners. Let me come to the chat small before I continue with the comments. But he's still very young, if not late 20s, then early 30s. He's 36. Would that change your mind? Would that change anything for you? Right? Because I do think that early 30s, late 20s is... I actually believe that it's never too late. Because what you have is now. I believe that in the grand scheme of things, okay? The only people I don't want to be saying that is people who are older telling younger people to wait till their own age. I think that's terrible advice. I think context matters, right? And I think where everybody's coming from is different from people to people. If you are of age, you're of age. It is what it is. Those are the cards you are dealt. It's never too late, all right? He said, look at the way he's sitting. Dating 19 years old at 30 plus will do that. He's a weirdo. He's single. He can date 19 years old. Correct me. What's going on? Brother Ben, come and save me here. A 36-year-old man cannot date a 19-year-old. Is that a rule somewhere in the book? Is that what makes people creep? Because what do you want to say to 60-year-old who are married, who are dating 19 years old? They must have a different name. It can't be creep. It has to be some other name, right? Keep in mind, we're talking about Nigeria as a society, right? D-Love says, I'm proud of him for recognizing you have to lose your guard. You caught that last minute. You caught that part, right? There are 40-plus-year-old men running around these streets and don't get that point yet. No, they don't. They don't realize that their guards are up, right? Because they're also telling themselves, I'm rich now. I can find whatever I want. I can date any girl as young as I want. But the issues are deeper than that. I wish your issue was as simple as any age. The issues are deeper than that. And I think he really, he caught that with that phrase, lose guard, that part. But we're going to talk about that more in a second here. More Fresh says, excuse me. Yep, all that weirdo stuff with young girls. Didn't even know he was that old. What weirdo stuff are you guys talking about? You guys have to share something with me behind the scenes later on. Okay? If it's just as simple as he's dating a 19-year-old, I don't see that as a weirdo. And, you know, I just don't. I don't agree with that. But if there's more, let me know. In the comments, they continue. Somebody said, please, when can we sit down and discuss on innovative and constructive ideas to better personal and business growth in these challenging times in Nigeria? That is a very stupid statement considering what we're talking about, right? A lot of people's personal growth is going to happen inside of romantic relationships. Your romantic partner will force you to think a little bit beyond yourself. Especially like he's talking about, the older you get, the more selfish you tend to become, right? If you get into a romantic relationship, all of that will get tested, right? So now, don't talk about relationship anymore. Let's talk about innovative stuff. That's stupid. That's a stupid talking point. We all care about connection. We all crave for connection as much as we care for significance and growth and contribution to society. All of those things will not function well if you don't manage the way you manage your personal relationships. There's no such thing as personal development without talking about personal relationships. Literally, there's no such thing. So it's cute to say, let's just talk about relationships. No, you can't. If you are very good at your personal relationships, you actually become better in the corporate world as well. Genuinely, those that found young love are lucky. They don't know what they have. All right, that's what's up. Now, obviously, not everybody found young love. They found love, but you know, the lack of maturity which everybody will go through got the best of them. Okay, if you married young, if you got with somebody young, you've collected woto from lack of maturity. It's just the reality. That's why you'll be forced to grow, and if you can't grow fast enough, you know, you end up in the ditches, aka i.e. divorce court. All right, and then those kind of people will come out and say, don't do it, don't marry young. They're talking from their own experience. They don't know what they're talking about yet. Okay, so whatever they went through, you will go through it. Even as an older person, you will just be dealing with a different type of problem. Not like you'll be dealing with no problem at all. You'll be dealing with a different type of problem. Okay, potentially before you actually find a person, you know. Somebody said, I feel him. Normally my pikin supposed to be like 11 or 12 years old by now. May God guide our path. Amen. That is a solid prayer. Amen. Finding true love is not hard, just that people ignore what they should check for. So that's hard, because the people is part of the equation. So it makes it hard if we're going by your logic. Anyway, let me come back. Let's finish this up really quickly, because again, the conversation is let me nitpick what he said a little bit, and then we'll finish this up, you know. Let's see.
Or like not picking your wife like
early enough. Yeah. No, to be
I wish
honest,
I had picked someone that, like, you know, one of my young loves that we by now we have. Maybe I must have had like a 14-year-old kid running around. And the thing about finding true love is that you can't even be guarded 1%. Like, you have to be able to just.
He said you can't be guarded 1%. You have to be able to lose your guard when you talk about true love, right? For other people, true love means you're pragmatic, not romantic, pragmatic. It means you are thinking everything through, you're extremely cerebral. Unfortunately, that messes with the ideal of true love too, because you kind of like, if we're talking about romantic love, at least you kind of like want to feel like you can rest. You can rest in both your masculinity and your femininity. You want to be able to do that and not have to be thinking about everything every second, right? And you can't do that if your guards are up. And the older you get, naturally, because you get hurt more in life, your guards are up. Naturally, because you have to protect yourself. You feel the need to protect yourself. This is just how life works, right? So is that the reason why people should do it young? No, I say just be self-aware about all of this kind of stuff. You know, if you now know that the older you get, you've been over, like you're looking over your shoulder every second. Somebody's about to hurt you. As good as that sounds, security, it's a negative. You group everybody together. They're trying to hurt you, and you might miss out. And it doesn't have to be your fault. It's just the reality of what happens. Right? Let me play it.
Lose your guard. I'll just say. Honestly, one of my biggest, maybe I could say biggest regrets is not settling down or like not picking your wife like
early enough.
Like,
No, to be
I wish
honest,
I had picked someone that, like, you know, one of my young loves.
So if I were him, I wouldn't use the word regrets. You know why I wouldn't use the word regrets? I'll tell you in a second. The word regret is powerful, and it works against you as well. So what do we do now? I know. Yeah, I know. Welcome to the real world. It's never really that simple, but it can be that simple once you see patterns after a while, right? The word regret actually provokes a certain part of your emotions, and it's not necessarily beneficial either, you know. More phrases. I believe the girls were very much younger than 19 years old. I actually looked into that story back then. One just finished secondary school in 16, 17. The 19 years old outed him for stringing all of them along to do what? To date. Now 16 young is illegal. We can just call that illegal, right? 16, 17 is illegal. It's weird, but you know, there's no excuse for that. That's what happens too if you're lingering around after 30. The higher the chances, especially if you're a superstar like Timini, they will throw themselves at you and you will be tempted, okay? And yeah, you might find yourself in trouble like that. That's additional layer of problems he has to deal with. Self-control. Much energy will have to go into self-control with regards to that. But anyway, like I was saying, 40 plus single, never been married, red flag. Red flag doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means something you have much more to watch out for, beyond other people, even inside of yourself. Things like your guards are up, that makes you a red flag, right? Things like you start to reflect back into the past and you're now calling it a regret, that also makes it a red flag. It doesn't have to be a regret. It could just be a lesson. It could just be a self-awareness, another angle to self-awareness, right? Because if you look at these poisons, blame, that also involves self-blame, number 5. Okay, that also involves self-blame. But as you can see, there's a standalone there, number 6, guilt, right? Guilt, regret. There's nothing wrong with regret, and I'm just saying you don't want that to be an overwhelming energy that you carry around. Instead, what we all need to learn is learn where we are today, learn how to appreciate where we are today, and learn how to make the most out of where we are today. When you're telling a 19-year-old to don't worry until they are 35 before they think about marriage, you are actually teaching them to take now for granted. See what I'm saying? It doesn't work. It doesn't work either, right? Because you're teaching them from your standpoint, you're teaching them, right? They need to do the same thing you would have to do. You know, count your days, like Herbert Wigwe said, right? Learn how to count your days. Learn how to value every moment. This moment, if you're single, if you're married, it doesn't matter what status you are. This moment is your biggest blessing. What are you going to do with it is the question. And this is applicable to wherever you find yourself in life. Regret, I would change that to lessons. What are the lessons that I've learned thus far? Right? Yes, it's semantics, but not really, because the word regret carry a lot of weight and a lot of energy. I would just be careful with that. You know, I would say my lessons, I would use the same words, but I would call it lessons instead of regret, But say was sleeping with them. Oh, he was sleeping with them. Oh, that's too bad. He can get in trouble. He can get himself in big trouble with that. But he has access to all of them. Even the older ones like him. They like him too, right? I would think. But anyway, it's the pretty boy creep of Nollywood, according to you guys. I didn't say that. You guys said it. We'll look out for more on Timini. We'll see if he has more that we can learn from his behavior on what not to do. Right? But what he shared with us today is on point, which is the older you get, you have to learn to lose guard. If you're younger, you're not chopping breakfast like that, so you don't have to put too much energy into that. Now, lose guard is a very difficult thing to do, because you know what you know. I can't be asking you to unlearn what you know. With regards to how human beings can hurt you, the closest people to you can hurt you really badly. Remember the Usher story, right? Sometimes they are your mother. Usher had issues with his mother too. A lot of these people have issues with the closest people to them. But this is the real world, right? So if you know enough of these things, you start to realize that, okay, all right, this is just a reality. Let me find someone that make me feel safe, and then we'll build on top of that from there, But shout out to Timini. Not feeling you in our chat yet, sorry. But let's get to Monique. We have some stuff to talk about with Monique today, and I'll be back in 20 seconds. Before I leave, what is your take on what is the ideal age for people to get married for you? Just share that with me in the comments in the chat. I'll be back in 20 seconds.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, let's talk about Monique. Let's finish today's story with Monique. Monique will not go away. She won't. She's been at this for years now. And there was some interesting comments last time we covered this trendy stuff that she's doing. There was some interesting stuff that I saw in some of the comments. I wonder if I can find those comments right now. Can I find those comments right now? Well, the Sun is coming out. The Sun is talking. Obviously, a few days ago, Monique is an American comedian. How old is Monique? I wonder. She's an American comedian anyway. She's married to a guy called Sid, Uncle Sid, Daddy. Monique was born in 1967. She's 56 years old. Wow, she's not that old. Interesting. I thought she would be in her 60s or something. Well, Oprah is much older than her, obviously. Right? But anyway, yes, Monique has been in the news for, I don't know, maybe a week or so, because she was on the Club Shay hosted by Shannon Sharp, NFL player, ex-NFL player Shannon Sharp, right? So, and she was saying a lot. I haven't really had the chance to watch the whole video. But what we also know that she was dragging a lot of people. She dragged Tyler Perry. She dragged Kevin Hart, right? She dragged who else did she drag? She dragged a bunch of people. She dragged everybody in Steve Harvey's camp, directly or indirectly. She dragged what's the name of this lady? Another comedian who actually made a statement today. I'll see if I can play that statement as well. But anyway, she dragged quite a few people. Okay, Monique was dragging everybody. Let me see here. Let's see. Okay, hold on a second. Monique. Trying to see if I can pull up that comment that some people had on the last some few days ago. Interestingly, I've covered her a little bit here. There's a video from 10 months ago that says Monique ended open marriage and this happened. Oh, interesting. That's a nice one. We covered that way back then. Okay, so I don't think I've released the shorter video that we did about her a few days ago. Not yet. Okay, so all right, so Monique basically dragged everybody. Oprah, of course, Oprah Winfrey. She dragged Oprah Winfrey, and she's been dragging them forever. Claiming that they want her to do what she didn't have to do. I'm seeing Chidima's comments here. I see people are tired because it doesn't concern them. She already said she was going to continue to talk until they apologize. Let her talk. Okay. Shout out to Gina Oye. Shout out to you. She's the one that Gina Oye made this comment. She said people are tired because it doesn't concern them. Like they're tired of Monique talking. She already said she was going to talk. She was going to continue to talk until they apologize. Let her talk. All right. Gina Oye also, she must be following these people. She said Oprah has been doing this for so long, so something needs to happen. Right, we're talking about Oprah. Today, we will not be talking about Oprah, just so you know. Okay. I'll talk about this in a minute, but let me leave it alone for now. She said, that's why I love Denzel Washington. Okay, all right. I love Denzel Washington too. I don't think she's playing entitled. She's demanding what she deserves. Oh, what she deserves. What she deserves? What do you mean what she deserves? What is the meaning of deserving? What does it mean for someone to deserve? Right? Deserve, I would think, also has some kind of relationship with earning. Earn. Do something or have to show qualities worthy of reward or punishment, right? You earn that reward, you earn that punishment. So I'm a little confused here with what does deserve mean. If you're there, you can enlighten us what you mean by that. Entitled is, I guess, will be more of opposite of deserve. It's like when you're saying I deserve something, but your result is kicking against it. Now, is it possible that people just don't want to reward you based off of what you know you've done, right? Yes, absolutely. But I think it's always best that other people speak for you. The market, ideally, we want the market to speak for us. We want the market to reward us according to our work, But we also know that, as we said on that last episode, women and being black can be a massive force against you getting what you deserve. But there's all kind of questions on top of that, you know. But I'll leave it at that. It's a case by case issue, right? So my major question today is that is she a victim? Let's see what we have today, and then we'll take it from there. Let's see what we have today. Is she a victim? Because now the son is calling her out. The son is calling her out. And there's multiple videos of the son calling her out, but I'm just going to go through some of them here and analyze them as we go, and then we end the show with that today. All right, let me look at this one. This is the son talking. Okay.
To address the Club Shay interview that she did, where she states that she prays to the universe in regards to reconciling our relationship, as I stated, is odd. My mother and I both know that is a very false narrative, and I would like to...
Let me lower that music so it's okay.
Continue telling that lie. Faith without work is dead, and neither one of us cares to put forth any effort to reconcile with the other. We are separate, as she put it, because she doesn't care to be my mother any more than I care to be her son.
Okay, obviously all of this is allegations still, but by the son. One fact we can pull out of this is that they don't have a good relationship. That's factual, right? From what we can see, they don't have a good relationship, right? Okay, but let's keep going. But what happened there? Who is at fault? Who is not at fault? We don't know. We will never know. Let me just warn you, we will never know. Nonetheless, we're going to pull some lessons out of this, okay?
Neither one of us has had the desire to reach out to the other in a very long time, and I don't think that either of us anticipates that feeling ever returning. Speaking with my mother directly, in my experience, will either lead to some odd newfound moment of clarity in regards to how she was as my mother, or she retreats back to daddy to move forward with the conversation. And I'm tired of hearing my mother's truths.
He said he's tired of hearing his mother's truths. Now Monique apparently has 4 children, but this one is from a past relationship. He has another son, then he has a twin. Then she has a twins, rather. She has another son, then she has a twin, right? So she has 4 total children. And her very first child, she's not in good relationship. But now, there's a lot going on here. I want to make sure I get through them. So let's keep going.
To address the Club Shay interview that she did, where she states that she prays to the universe in regards to reconciling our relationship, as I stated, is...
Welcome, Chilli.
My mother and I both know that is a very false narrative, and I would like to free her of having to continue telling that lie. Faith without work is dead, and neither one of us cares to put forth any effort to reconcile with the other. We are separate, as she put it, because she doesn't care.
All right, let's go to the next slide.
Newsflash, I'm not sure if people know, but standing in your truth doesn't make you noble.
Standing in your truth doesn't make you noble. That's profound. That doesn't mean it's innocent. I'm just saying that statement is profound with respect to what everybody else like to say. Stand in your truth. Hey. And what else? It doesn't mean you won't collect. Let's continue, right?
Sure, people are aware of that. But responding this way, I feel as though it allows me to say my piece uninterrupted. To those wondering.
So he was actually talking about himself. He said, I'm speaking my truth. I'm saying, I'm responding, but it doesn't make me noble. That's what it seems like he just said right there. So some credibility goes towards him for saying that. Let's keep going.
Well, why say something now? Call it a form of therapy for me, I suppose. But when her daddy had intentionally stated...
He said her daddy. Ouch.
...that they have 3 sons, but his wife is on the internet talking about the 4th son in a video.
Well, he has 3 sons. He has 3 sons. This is another example of entitlement. There is an entitlement. This is an entitled child, or man, or young man, right? He has 3 children. She has 4, because he has no relationship with you in that capacity. No be Juju be that.
That has millions of views. That rubbed me the wrong way. But anyway, to inform a child that you are not interested in being a mother at a time when that kid is the only kid that has the potential to lead a child to believe that you are not interested in them specifically. Newsflash, I'm not sure if people know, but standing in your truth doesn't make you noble. But to take it a step further, you also admit, my mother had also admitted to me that she didn't do the best job that she could do, which would also make one begin to question, you know, all of your past decisions.
So if she admitted to not doing the best she could do, why bring that up, right? That is, I'm just asking. There's real reasons why people do that, right? Probably because they keep feeling the same way. Probably because they're still connected with that inner child that felt that way, and there are events that are still making them feel that way. Let's keep going.
Decisions and prior emotional interactions, but to be completely honest and fair, you know, those were things that I was willing to get over. You know, nobody's perfect, we're all human, but my mother showed a clear lack of humility, compassion, and consideration when taking any level of accountability for those things. My mother does a fantastic job of acknowledging a lot of things, but she doesn't take accountability very well, and anything that she may take true accountability for, it's only at her convenience, in my experience. But if I had to guess, though,
that young man keeps saying, in my experience, respectfully, in my experience, you know, I think he was talking about both sides. I think the statement is applicable to both sides anyway. You know, they all speak their truth. He's doing that right now, which is why I said I needed to come out this way, because he said just call it therapy, I guess, right? He said that. So I can respect that you know, so as a human being, sometimes you just need to speak out to feel a little better. I just hope you have enough wisdom around you to help you do that within a controlled environment, and not just to a bunch of strangers that really don't care, that might even attempt to drag you more and make you feel worse.
her interest in being a mother probably started, but to take it a step further, around the time that she married her daddy and had his children. But that interest, you know, obviously seemed one-sided, and as it should have been. By that time, I'm in my late teens, so to some degree, the the neglect becomes easier to hide or validate, I guess you can say. There are now 2 baby boys in the house, you know, that require attention. But still, during that time, however, I still watched her enjoy the love and admiration of total strangers more than my own. To this very day, my mother has never expressed to me when, if ever, she became interested in me as her son. That did lead me down a path of questioning my self-worth and struggling to understand the value of a mother in a child's life. In the interview, she also states that she gave me an apology, but an apology to a son from a mother that consciously showed no interest in him, holds around the time that she married her daddy and had his children. But that interest, you know, obviously seemed one-sided, and as it should have been. By that time, I'm in my late teens, so to some degree, the weight. There are still women to this day that my mother will give credit to for being more of a mother to me than she ever could. Her assistant, my cousin, being one of them. Every time, though, that my mother would state that she was right here whenever I was...
There's a lot of therapy lingo that this man is throwing around, you know. You know, everything in life, including water. If it gets too much, it can actually destroy you. It can kill you, you know. Everything in life, everything in modesty, right? He's throwing around a lot of... probably what they probably have gone to therapy and they probably talk way too much, more than actually doing any kind of healing, you know. That's what I'm hearing from a lot of things he's saying, you know. It doesn't negate the experience he's trying to share with us. I'm just saying, at some point, you know, you're just hoping to pick up some pieces, heal, and move forward, and just appreciate, like I was saying earlier, the place that God has placed you in life is not perfect for a much larger purpose. But I get it. It might be coming from a privileged person, right? Yeah. I have my own mother. She turned 70 in a couple of, well, she already turned 70 in Nigerian time. So in a couple of hours, we'll be celebrating her 70th birthday, you know. So maybe I'm speaking from a privileged person's standpoint. So I can't really judge this young man. And in the same token, I cannot judge Monique, right? But it goes to tell you what I've been saying with regards to if a person is fighting everybody in the industry, let's not get stuck with the right and wrong. They can be right. They are calling them out. The wisdom that I'm trying to share with you will tell you that at some point you have to look at them and say, why are you fighting everybody? Well, let's talk about that too. Right? No, let's talk about that from a very genuine place, without judging you, without you feeling judged. Hopefully, you probably will feel judged by default. By asking that question already, you already felt judged. But let's see if we can get beyond that. Because I think the healing is behind that, behind the answer to that question. Why is it that you're fighting everybody? Right? Could it be it's something about you, without judging you, that you can adjust? Because now we're not talking about everybody in the industry. We're not talking about your own child. We're not talking about your child also is going to repeat some of these things that they've learned. You know, people learn what to do and what not to do, directly or indirectly, from, you know, the people that raised them, directly or indirectly. Because now this man has a trauma associated with the fact that he knew his mother, but he was also raised by a bunch of other people, which in of itself, you can't call that wrong. She was out on the road working, right? And he probably benefited a lot from gift and things like that, over compensation, spoiling him. But he can't see that, and you can't judge him for not seeing that. You're not going to help him if you do that, if you try to judge him from that standpoint either. It's not going to work. Let's keep going.
That ideology still blows my mind today, that a person could openly admit to being an uninterested, not put my best foot forward type of parent, and be so self-centered that they still express to the kid, you have to come to me when you're ready. You got to come to me for us to make this right.
You have to come to me when you're ready.
But I'm not sure what my mother could possibly think that she has shown me in the past.
Well done.
Have for me now that's not money, goodness gracious, that would make me want to come to her or whatever those things.
Well, if he comes to you, you're probably gonna judge him that is because of money. I wonder if that's gonna come up later.
No, wait. There are still women to this day.
But I bet you have to shout out the brothers behind the scenes too. Where's your bro code? Shout out to your sisters and your bros. Some of them are watching behind the scenes or watching later.
Hey, that my mother will give credit to for being more of a mother to me than she ever could. Her assistant, my cousin, being one of them, supposed to be. A mother is supposed to be the first woman that a boy falls in love with.
That is Jambalaya Dijuburibish from Therapy Talk. He's doing a lot of teaching and actually trying to address the real issues, right? And he can't teach anybody. No matter how solid, profound what he said is, he's not in that place. What he's doing, a lot of it is just teaching and repeating what we kind of already know, right? But anyway, we're pulling this up right now so you can know that Monique's issue is not just all about Oprah and Tyler Perry. It's not. Yeah, can we stop the cap already? It's not. Monique's issue is deeper than Tyler Perry, Kevin Hart, Oprah.
Stop the cap.
It's deeper. Okay.
I loved my mother very much, but my mother loved things more than she loved me. and she would validate.
He said, I loved my mother. All right. That statement is disconnected from reality. You will not be shooting a whole film addressing your mother if you still don't love her. Because people associate love must be, it must be good feelings, good emotions all the time. That's not true. Again, I'm a fan of therapy, but I think some people are just going there just to repeat themselves to themselves.
Her love for me by giving me things, and would proceed to call me ungrateful or inconsiderate if said things did not have the desired effect. I couldn't imagine what it's like to be her, though. To ask God for what you want, and then he gives you what you need, though, only for you to ignore it and have the audacity.
What's what you want? Is that him? Is he talking about himself when he said that? To ask God for what you want?
To ask God for something else. And I'm glad I don't. I'm glad I didn't do that.
Oh my God, he's
no.
numb.
Oh, you went to the universe instead. By no means, though, do I want to give off any type of an impression that I am a victim of anything. It's not the case.
Really? Try telling your face. Tell your face that you're...
Hey, since you can see I'm smiling from ear to ear.
I don't believe you.
Supposed to be. I'm alive. I'm happy. I'm a dad. I'm healthy, I think.
Oh.
I drink a lot of water. I'm getting over a cold now. I still have my days just like everybody else.
It's a dad.
And
Monique is a grandmother.
she did teach me along the way.
The fact of the matter is that Monique is a grandmother. That is a fact of life.
I did learn how not to love from my mother. I also learned to make sure that I never lose so much of who I am that I have to validate it through another person. And though I feel as though, in hindsight, I think she did it reluctantly, I do appreciate my mother, for showing me what the top of the mountain looks like. You know what I'm saying? It did give me perspective on what hard work and dedication can get you, but I don't want something like that at the cost of giving up something that I created. I don't want
and what's that?
And speaking of creations, I genuinely, truly, I really did want my mother to have a relationship with my daughter. I even thought, I'm alive.
So that's suggesting that Monique doesn't want you to have the child that you have. Let's see if it speaks more to that.
That were, if she wasn't interested in you, what makes you think she's going to be interested in your kid?
Yeah, that's suggestion. She never said that, but that's what happens when you create this kind of human being, directly or indirectly. They also repeat the same toxic things that you've done. God help you, they have your same personality.
But it took my mother no time at all to prove that those intrusive thoughts were correct. But what I can say, good for her, the universe did, bless her with 3 other sons. And God will.
I would be interested to know if he has a relationship with his siblings. Because if he doesn't, his problem is not, it might be a source, Monique might be the source, but his problem is not just Monique either. He's a grown man now. Yeah, you don't get to run around town and talk about that's the only problem you have. You have a ton of other problems. Okay? And every problem have a source. So, and everybody have problems that they have sources too. That makes it fair for all of us.
I'm sure that one of them, all 3 of them are adults now. So I'm sure that one of them, God willing, if not all 3 of them, will make her the grandmother that she wants to be. I still look forward, to that moment for her. But overall, when it comes to the boy,
that's some very, very condescending set of statements he just made. But I'm not judging him. I'm just saying that's what happens when you don't learn these things. Okay, you will end up with a sibling, a mother, a relationship, a personal relationship that will end up projecting out to your professional life too.
As though I am happy that whenever they do hear me talk, sorry, my phone just, they can't relate to what it is that I'm saying. My experience with my mother is not their experience.
Oh, I gotta go back. Sorry.
But whenever they hear me talk, They don't know what it is. They can't through those.
They can't relate.
That were, if she wasn't interested in you, what makes you think she's gonna be interested in your kid?
He's talking about his siblings now.
But it took my mother no time at all to prove that those intrusive thoughts were correct. But what I can say, good for her, the universe did, you know, bless her with 3 other sons. Bless her with 3 other sons, and God willing, you know, I'm sure that one of them, all 3 of them are adults now. So I'm sure that all, you know, one of them, God willing, if not all 3 of them, will make her the grandmother that she wants to be. I still look.
Now, let me ask you this, right? Mario says what he said didn't contradict what his mom said on Club Shay. You know, overall, right? I'm guessing. Now, this part that he just said, did she say that? That when my other children have children, I'll be a happy grandmother finally. Did she say that? Right? Now, there's one side of this equation that we literally hear that. Even if no one said that. But they will hear that as a reverse of what he was just saying just now. Right? Because we all tend to listen to just the parts. Well, we listen with the side of our brain that works. Right? And that's the problem with talking too much. You end up just telling on yourself, right? Too sad.
Look forward. You know,
it's sad to watch, nonetheless.
But overall, when it comes to the boys, though, I am happy that whenever they do hear me talk, sorry, my phone did something weird, but no, but whenever they hear me talk, they don't know what it is. They can't through those intrusive thoughts that were. So my prayer for her and them is that they continue to see her the way that they see her now. I do also want to make sure that I say thank you to my mother for giving me life. Without that moment in time, I wouldn't have had my little one. But outside of that moment, there isn't anything that either of us has to offer the other. In my opinion, it's a waste of God's time and the universe's time for praying for something that you were not willing to put forth any effort to obtain. Putting the work into becoming Monique is more important to my mother than...
What you care about is what you spend time on. If you spend time shooting this video, you still care. You just don't know what you're doing. You still care. You just don't know what you're doing. It's as simple as that. Your actions are speaking louder than your words. Okay? That's the reality. And I get it. Your own emotions. I have to tell you, you can't see that if you're the one in the funk of that emotions. MOP, these kids won't listen to their parents, then got someone pregnant and expect their parents to be responsible for the child. This problem is bigger than that. You know, most parents have problems with that. They will tussle back and forth and they will eventually make up. They will end up falling in love with that child. That's literally how it plays out. In every story I've ever known, somebody got pregnant or they got pregnant too early. They will resent some of those resentments, some of their wahala during that period. The parents' wahala will be resented by that child for a long time, but the parents actually end up falling in love with that child. Remember the Ifeanyi, right? Ifeanyi, that's her name, right? The girl from TikTok, right? The mother didn't want to release the baby, right? After she's re-narrating what happened, what the mom said when she got pregnant, all right? So there's lessons on both sides of that, you know. But I even think the problem is bigger here. Mario says she did not say that. No. He's saying a lot of things that are very condescending that, you know, Monique responded. You know that. Because if they were just agreeing, there would be no need to respond, you know. But, you know, emotions too will get people to respond. Because, again, remember, even if he said, like, exactly accurately semantically speaking, what she said, she's still going to listen with the side of her brain that works and come and respond. You know, it never ends. If the way we want to solve these problems is talking in the name of communication, because that's not communication, actually, we're only going to, Ama Felujun, we make it worse. We just make it worse. He is well spoken. At least she paid for a good education, you know, and that's a strong at least. But is he able to appreciate that right now? I'm afraid not. It's like, I'm not gonna at the cost of something that I created. That's cap. Okay, your mother got mad at you because you impregnated somebody. If that's what happened, I'm not sure if that's what happened. That's pretty normal people's behavior, parents' behavior. How you conduct yourself, how respectful you were in that moment would also tell us a lot about where we're going. You're a grown man after the fact. I doubt if Monique sat down anywhere and say, I hate that you created a child. I doubt it. But he's capping, just like his mother. How's that?
Being my mother. And I do not believe that it was never about her being there and waiting for me, but it was supposed to be about me being there and waiting for her. My mother's value had reached such a low point in my life that I no longer found it necessary to either want to wait for her or even go to her.
That's word salad, man.
Like I said, man.
But you find it necessary to release videos to drag mom? Why? Because she was wrong? I'm not arguing that she wasn't wrong. But you find it necessary to do that, you still care about being right. Okay?
Well, you're right.
Yeah, that's the issue here. You're obsessed with being right. And for as long as you're obsessed with being right, your relationships will become less valuable. Okay? And it's not just going to be as simple as, well, it's of no value for me to work on it. No, it's not going to be that simple. You're going to be hurting. Okay? And you're going to pay a serious price for that. Because nobody's going to be your mother out there. Nobody's going to be your family out there. Not at this age, at least. In fact, if anything, they will continue to question your identity. This one that doesn't have a family. They won't say it directly. They'll just act like it. You know? Because they have to mimic the way you see yourself, basically.
And I'm super grateful that she has the opportunity. They can't relate to what it is that I'm saying.
Time around.
Let's hear what Monique had to say.
What's your relationship like? Is he resentful of that?
We're still very much separated.
Okay.
And it's a
That's word salad. That's word salad. We're still very much separated. We sugarcoat the real feeling of what's going on there. It is factual. They're separated, but no, it's not husband and wife. This is your child we're talking about.
It's one of those things where you have to pray to the universe and say, let time do the healing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Right.
That's it. Let time do that healing.
No, not just time. The way you responded to this question would tamper with how fast healing can come. The way you respond to this question, your actions or lack thereof, or inactions, or your reactions, your responses will also affect how speedy you can bring that healing. Just waiting there in the name of we're just waiting, but then you run your mouth the first opportunity they ask you about your son. Like that's the wrong answer. We're waiting for what? That's a wrong answer. I want to hear something. I don't know what I want to hear, but I want to hear something else. At least we're praying. I'm praying for him. And the first opportunity I get, I'm going like something. I need something a little bit more than, not me need. It's not that deep for me. I'm just saying, you need something a little bit more than just waiting for time to heal. Time is not your mate. It's not going to wait for you like that.
It may heal it in time, and it may not. Right. And that's something that we as parents have to say, listen.
Right.
No, I don't want to say that out loud. It can be the reality. If it becomes my child, I don't want to say that out loud. It's something I would be ashamed of saying out loud. I don't want to say that out loud. Okay, it might be the reality, but I don't want to say that out loud. My personal opinion.
I've done what I could do. I've taken accountability for it. Now it's up to you.
No. We get to say if you took accountability, not you. No. I'm getting pissed off. Not really. It's not that deep. Right? No, but we get to tell you if it feels like accountability. This is word salad. This is just trying to justify herself. That's all that is. Your actions speak louder than the words.
To you.
Right.
That's like when somebody's saying, Shannon, I want to apologize to you. Now it's up to you
whether or not to accept it.
Whether or not to, but once I give it to you.
No. Once you add all of this to the apology, it's no longer an apology. Once I give you apology, you either accept it or not. On live TV, the whole world, you see, this video has like how many millions of views now? Like, no, that's not enough. That wasn't an apology already. We know now. And you probably can smell it.
I've done my part. And don't apologize like no punk.
I'm not going to apologize like no punk. You take these apologies or you leave it. Let me show my face. You take this apology or you leave it. If you don't like it, now your own wala be that.
I'm just sorry for everything. That get your ass out of it. No, break it down.
Time around.
See, he did exactly what the mothers do. Therapy talk. We're talking about you. You don't get to teach. When we're talking about you and your own particular situation, you don't get to teach. You need to have other people teach you because you're a human being like the rest of us. You need to have other people help you. Not cool. Not cool, not cool, not cool. I'm gonna come to the chat in a second, but let me see. There's a couple more things here. You think Monique is just gonna let that go? Nah. Nah, 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 nah. Wait. Where's the video? Jesus Christ. Oh, okay. There you go.
Let's rock and roll, baby.
Let's rock and roll. The title of our conversation, or the theme of it, is called The Long Way Around.
Oh, Chilli, you're right there with me.
Pickles, stop playing with that paper, please. The reason we're having it is a multitude of reasons, but we're going to start off with, there was a Instagram that was put up, or I guess?
It was TikTok, baby.
TikTok that was put up by
my son, my oldest son, Shalon. And this is what I want to say to this. There are some people that are saying, oh, you should be ashamed of your mothering skills. You should be ashamed of yourself. This is what I'll say. Let's let it play out. Because the same ones that said to me, I was crazy, I was deranged.
If we're going to let it play out, this video will not exist. Our actions speak louder than our words. If this video, like, okay, but I need to say something too. See, exactly. As long as you're going to keep needing to say something, they need to keep saying something too. Guess where we're going to find out? Look at some of the comments here. The comment says, blink twice, Monique, if you need help. Jesus Christ.
We watched it play out. So just like with my son, we'll watch this play out. And I do want to address this though, Shalon. When you say her daddy, then that's when mommy gonna say stop playing, because you know this has been Uncle Sid your whole life. Uncle Sid knew you before you knew you. So for you to say her 3 sons, yes, you're absolutely right. He has.
We go explain because no evidence.
Uncle said is his daddy. We didn't know that before. She had to come and explain it to us.
3 sons. He can't claim you as his son because he's always been Uncle Sid, and he knows your daddy very well.
That I don't have to explain that to my stepson. No, I don't have to explain that. Not in public, at least. Not in public. Jesus Christ. I already said that earlier on, but I can say that because I'm a stranger. I'm just covering something that's public in the public domain. You can't say that to him in public. What is wrong with these people? Nobody tells them anything. They're not learning anything anywhere. She put a whole video together, and this man should not be in this video.
And love that brother. And the irony of all of this is
now it's going to Shalaye too. Jesus Christ.
We go explain because no evidence.
Like, come on, man. Must you speak to everything?
I never expected it.
Is not what is said, but what's left off.
Yes.
See.
Also, you want to say everything that's left out because it wasn't said completely. Everybody will always feel like something was left out. The leader, at some point, whoever the leader of that contest, will have to hold their cool at some point and stop the bleeding. It's the first chapter in the Get My Marriage Back book. You're going to have to just stop. It's going to take everything in you to stop. It's easier said than done because you feel how you feel, right? You're caught up in your feelings too, and you're right, and your feelings are valid. But it's not going to stop unless whoever is leading that context, whoever chooses to lead that context, stops. It's going to have to stop at some point. So who's going to stop now, the son or these people? Right? Yoruba people say agba kin wa lọ́jà kori ọmọ tuntun wọ́, right? Once you have elders in the, like, come on, elders, the husband, come on, you're gonna have to stop. Somebody's gonna be like, celebrity. No, it happens to all of us in one shape or the other. You have to, if you claim that you are the leader or you have an opportunity to lead, you're just gonna have to stop. That means you have something you want to say, but you chose as hard as it is, you just chose. Sometimes you have to take it to your grave. There you have it.
You're leaving off the fact that the last time we laid eyes on you, your mother got you everything you needed for the newborn baby about 3 years ago. You're forgetting.
We could have predicted that too. Oh God, I didn't think that young man was telling the whole truth.
We go explain because no evidence.
I didn't think he was telling the whole truth either. But they have to tell us that he's not telling the whole truth. You know, the people in your life, when you come out to the rest of the world and you say they are lying, ask yourself at that point, what is the motive here? Am I trying to heal the relationship, or I am obsessed with my righteousness in these matters?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, but he's like, but that's not right. We should just say the truth as it is. Yeah, I'm just letting you know, those are the price you have to pay. You're right, and you lose your relationship. And sometimes you talk your right in, and eventually you can't really, the truth will always come out regardless, right? The forces of the universe will force the truth out at some point. We can tell, we know, we can smell. But if you try to help the universe, your relationship will collapse.
Sorry.
About how I, from Georgia, am talking you through getting your car after we gave you the half of the down.
I talked you through getting your car. I helped you, even though I did this, I did that, I did everything I was supposed to do. I know you said I wasn't really your daddy. I'm your mommy's daddy.
Oh, you're right.
It's sad to watch, actually.
Down payment for it, and you were 31 years of age, 32 years of age at that point.
That's condescending.
And I'm negotiating the deal with the dealer for you as you sit there. And
what does that have to do with the state of the relationship today? You did all of that, and the relationship is in a poto today right now. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's not helping, clearly.
You have the vehicle you're driving right now because of your mother. These are the things that you're leaving out.
These are the things he resents. That you will come out and say everything you've done for him and not even address what he's talking about. You couldn't, because all you're hearing is how he's being condescending towards you. You couldn't hear him because he's also talking behind, like throwing shots at you and your children and your other children. Those ones that will give you the grandchildren that will finally make you happy. You cannot address this on your own. If you're in this kind of situation, you need help, and it's okay that you need help. You're a normal human being. You're caught up in your emotions, as you should, but you need some self-awareness with this. You're not going to help yourself. You're going to make matters worse, because you do care about this relationship. That's why you set time apart to be recording videos for millions of people to watch, and they're not going to help you. I'm not going to help you either. I'm just helping my own audience here.
When you're expressing what you're expressing in reference to your mother, you're not expressing the relationship that you have with your father.
He's wasting my time. It's now 7 o'clock. Somebody says she has a good supportive husband. That's amazing. Go black man. I hope all the best for this family situation. They need to go on Iyala Fix My Life. Hope is a terrible strategy. This man has no skills. He doesn't know what to do. He's using common sense to wing things along. It's only going to get worse. I don't know. Did they say anything extra outside of just Shalaye? Chilli, tell me. They're wasting my time. Time is gone. But of course, do you think the song will stop right there? What do you think? He learned from the best.
All right, so I'm just going to get straight to it. Hi, I'm Shalom.
He's going to do 10 minutes.
So I find it unique that my video was in response to my mother and not her husband, but yet he still had the most to say, which isn't uncommon. I also found it unfortunate that my mother does not seem to speak on her own. The only two worlds that I know where...
We're not going to do this. Nah.
Explain. We got no evidence.
I can't. I'm not going to do this. Let's just we've seen how this is going to play out. This is the Prestige family. We can predict this all the way to the bank. Okay, for as long as they keep talking, even if it's no cameras, they keep talking at each other, it's not going to end. Okay, and obviously there's at least one side that is right. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Let me just go through some of this comments here, and then we'll call it today. You know, I'm committed to making sure that we're able to get back to our families, right? Your wives, your husbands, your loved ones, your loved ones, you know. But Aben says, I don't get it. Mother admitted she made mistake and accepted she was wrong. What else do you want from our MOP? She need to never turn that camera on ever again in her life against her child. How about that? We will start with that. If we start with that, all of us will forget the story. Right? The small things that we don't really pay attention to is what needs to be done, and they're usually behind the scenes. The Shalaye to us is making matters worse, evidently. Time heals nothing. Time. Thank you, Jerry, on your coffee break. Time. I have hands-on experience with time doesn't heal. Okay, time will literally pass you by. That's what it's going to do. Okay, in certain contexts, you can say that. Right, but just saying time by itself is healing. Listen, some people just go to their grave like that. They never mend their relationships. You know. Thank you on your coffee break. Good to see you here on our live session. Daddy needs to go, quote unquote, daddy needs to go sit down for a quick second so Monique can work on her son's relationship. He took over the response from Monique. I bet he did. I couldn't go any further. You know, this is America and that's their lifestyle. Yeah, that doesn't disconnect. But I mean, that doesn't disconnect them from the terrible results they are creating. We have to spell it out. Some of us do this. I have personal experiences with this kind of behavior. Let me just leave it at that. You know me, I can't talk about my own issue. Okay, but in my own extended family, yes, there are issues like this everywhere we go. So I'm not sure what to mean by is their lifestyle. But even if you're right, the result does not look good because clearly they're hurting, right? So we can see that and leave that at that, you know, until maybe we can pick up the conversation again another day. I'm sure they will tell us more. Toby and Tribe says the first step is to stop discussing about it in the public. It will only make the other person feel defensive and feel the need to respond. Exactly. That's why the leader, whoever is trying to lead that context, it could be the son who has chosen to be the man of the house and bring everybody together in spite of his experiences. He would need certain types of tools to be able to make that happen. It could be him. It could be daddy and mother, right? That would say, no, we're not going to do that. We're just going to initiate some intervention and we're going to do that in private. It could be all of that. We've tried that. Well, keep trying, okay? Because you're not going to say we've tried that and now start doing things that won't work, that will make it worse. That obviously wouldn't make any sense, But yes, good point, Toby. The defensive thing is real. We all feel it. We feel the need to defend. I'm talking particularly in a personal relationship, emotional stuff, not just random debate on the internet. I'm talking about somebody that you really care about, and they make it, and you know that you know what you're talking about, right? They say another thing, you feel the need to say another thing. They say another thing, you feel the, and you're coming from a very defensive place because sometimes it feels like they're throwing you under the bus, and it's like you should stand up for yourself. And there's a decision you have to make between standing up for yourself. A lot of times in life, like if it was that simple, people would just stand up for themselves and they will have great relationships. Clearly, it's not working out that way in a lot of cases. A lot of times, especially if you're a leader, you will be presented with an opportunity to stand up for yourself, or stand up for yourself in a different type of way. See, I'm never going to tell you not to stand up for yourself, right? But sometimes your decisions are calculated off of short-term benefits as opposed to long-term benefits. That's a whole different conversation. Let's leave it at that for now. Yeah, the defensive thing is real. For netizen, she can admit it, but use her actions to work towards building a new relationship by reaching out to her son and work on spending some type of time. Yeah. Anyway, she can admit to it, but by use that's a good point. The actions speak louder. What she's saying on that show, or what she told us she admitted to, but the streets. No, not because I say it, it's because that's the reality we're looking at right now. Yeah. Monique should go and write comedy. She needs to be funny again, make us laugh. That's my hopes. I don't know what I said. Trouble follows this lady. I won't want to work with her too. Yeah, thank you for saying this on your coffee break. So let's just sympathize with her for a second. Let's quote unquote have some empathy. Let's drag Oprah and Tyler Perry. They are wrong. They're taking advantage of our people. Let me ask you, if you have a couple of $1 million to invest right now, would you take the risk with Monique? No. Would you sympathize with your money too? That's the question. You want. That's the part that Monique needs to pay attention to. It's not just that you're right. It's about the optics. When you're playing with anything that has power embedded in the equation, you have to also pay attention to the optics of what's happening, not just the fact that you're right. Most people feel like they're right anyway. Okay, I'm not sure Tyler Perry is not just straight evil, want to hurt you. But like a couple of people now, like quite a few, including your own son, there's something about the types of relationship you're attracting, and you should look at that squarely and at least make sure that it's not you before you move forward. And by the time you're done assessing that, you might just be right. But your result, from what I'm looking at with what your coffee break is saying, she's not going to be risking millions of dollars just because she feels that, let's help her. You seem problematic. It's business. The Shalaye from Daddy no get part 2. He went off on the tangent. I was so irritated. Thank you. See, if I had seen that, I would have stopped it shorter than that so that we don't have to go over time. But Monique is Abokoku. All our saga stems from her husband's intrusion into her business. That's kind of looking that way, but I don't know the full context. But that's kind of looking that way to a lot. I've seen that statement in a lot of places, But even from what we've just seen right now, it shows that he doesn't know what he's doing. I can see, because if he's able to say, babe, we're not going to do that camera right now, and let me explain it to you. Just trust me. Just trust me. I got this, okay? We're not going to do that right now. I've asked situations like that. I have situations like my wife. I said, just ignore that. I just ignore that. But because she's heard me long enough and she's seen us go through this type of scenarios long enough, she knows to trust me when I say, ignore that. Ignore that. When ignoring is actually an action thing, right? So if somebody says something at you, right? If somebody says something at you and it kind of makes you feel something, there, most of them you're gonna have to ignore. It's actually an action, you know. Anyway, and sometimes you have to stand up for yourself. So timing, and sometimes timing is everything when it comes to this, right? There's sometimes you have to, especially if it's some kind of threat to you personally, emotionally, or something, sometimes you have to stand up for yourself. But what I'm saying is that a whole lot of times that people don't pay attention to, it's just a matter of ignoring, even if it's just for the time being, because you're looking for the right timing to say something if you have to, and you have to keep it short, sweet, concise, make your point. If you have to make your point the second, third time, it's not, that form of communication is clearly not working. Anyway, heal with her son and make comedy. Yeah, but where's daddy in all of this? When you marry a woman who has kids, it's a package deal. Daddy should have resolved this since. That boy does not respect daddy. Okay, now we can't force a boy to respect daddy, but you know, when you jump on the internet to shoot videos with your wife, that would do it. It was sad to me that due to him not having a good relationship with his stepson, he doesn't include him when he talked about his sons, which is very exclusive, and I can see how the oldest son feels. If I'm on a joint program with my wife and we have children together, okay? If I really want to avoid that, I say we have children together. I will avoid the numbers, because Yoruba people know this from a long time ago. They say, I can count follow. Even Emeka knew to say that. We don't count people's children for them. Why are we highlighting how many children we have separately or anything like that? We are grown people, we are 50-something-year-old people. It doesn't make any sense. But that's a wisdom from Yoruba people they can learn. You don't count your kids on public platform, especially if there's some discrepancies due to private issues going on like that. The people don't need to know. Even up to now, I didn't know. I thought she had a twin, and I thought she had one other child. And I thought it was the first child from before. But look at this mess. You know? It's a mess. Giving money, exactly, daddy should be the agba. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing. I don't know what I said. Exactly, daddy should be the agba. Yeah, daddy would be the ideal agba in this situation. Monique clearly needs an agba, you know, an elder who can help her with this decision, because you can see that she seemed helpless in that video too. Giving money and not a relationship is his issue too. Exactly. And they were basically reiterating what the boy's problem was. I don't even think that he was present at all in the first place. So the one that was part of raising him is excluding him. Shalayo. Oh, I didn't know he has responded back. Oh, yeah, I saw that. I was like, you know. But Ben said that man is Monique's problem. I would agree with that. And I want to do bro code with him, but it's not helping us. But Ben, it's not helping us. Okay? At the very minimum, he should not be jumping on those videos so fast. Let your wife disagree with you and say, no, I gotta say something. And even at that, sometimes you have to back up and let her do what she wants to do. Maybe it will hurt her, and then she'll come back and cry back to daddy. But you jumping on the video, what the hell is that supposed to do? You expect the boy not to respond? He lose guard. He will respond. He will type another thesis and respond. For every time he has nothing to lose. And yes, he cares enough to respond. He still loves you. Like, that's one of the things you have to figure out. Or you're like, this person is taking time to respond to me like this. They love me. But they don't know what to do with themselves emotionally right now. Let me lead. Let me get out of the way. Let me allow some time and look for the right timing, not just letting time go anyhow, right? And look for the right timing and look for the right opportunities. We're looking for the opportunities, the right timing to address this, because clearly this problem is not going to go away just because you're waiting. It won't. That's all I have for you today. I'm 15 minutes over time. I appreciate you guys for allowing me to be a little bit over time today. And hopefully we learned a lot today. I learned a lot every time I address this kind of issues. It just reminds me of what not to do, how to move, It reminds me, the reminders are very necessary because I have my own situations that still present itself where I am forced to move in power, move with wisdom, move with lots of self-awareness, because human beings will test you. human beings, especially the ones you love the most, they will test everything. Yeah, I appreciate all of you. Shout out to Latu. Latu says Daddy is the best thing that happened to Monique after sliced bread. Daddy needs some skills, man. Daddy needs some skills. What can I tell you? Anyway, shout out to you guys. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. Do me a favor as you're leaving. Let's do one final touch. Let's make sure the like button is lit blue. Okay. Thank you so much for doing that. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One loving up, we done enough.